Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining me on the top 10 need to knows while playing Halo if you want to be good. So let's get over this. I'm just going to jump straight in. If any of you already know this stuff, then great. But I'm kind of applying this to more of the newer players or the players that never really have taken it too seriously. But I would suggest at least taking some of these to heart, even if you are really good, just really digesting it and implementing it into your gameplay, because it helps a lot, believe me. So first one is going to be cover. Yes, it's very basic, but I've seen so many people just bum rush things in the middle of nowhere. There'll be no cover. So the best way to do it is, if you're going to be hiding behind a wall while someone's shooting at you, see how you can play that wall and bounce around it so that you can continually stay out of fire. So if one person starts turning, you start turning the other way and using that side part of the wall as cover also. So making sure that you are covered from each perspective, and also make sure your back has cover too. That's also another thing where height advantage is a huge key. So that's the second thing is, also hugging corners, because if you're out too far in the open, it's hard for you to run back and dodge people. But height advantage, it's really important to have height advantage because you can see more. Because what if someone drops up in front of you from above? Like, you're screwed because they have it planned and calculated, or someone could be shooting all the way on across the map and you have no idea because you don't have that height advantage, you can't see. And it's very basic knowledge that the higher you are, the more you can see. The lower you are, the lower your perspective is. And then also mid-control with that. So making sure, like, you might not have a very good height advantage in certain specific maps, but having that mid-control, or there's just choke points, it's really important to find an area where there's only 2 or 3 entrances with a lot of cover, or just, again, a choke point. It's basic knowledge just to protect yourself. If, let's say, all your teammates die, you can hold down the fort until they get back. Or if it's literally your teammates leave you for dead, you can pretty much hold it all by yourself. So that's important. Number 3, pre-nading, super important. Helps you not only predict where people are coming from, but helps you kind of hopefully take down people's shields if you can predict where they're coming from. So let's say if you see someone go into another corner and pop around a different corner, you know they're going to pop around that other corner. Chuck a grenade as soon as they turn around into that first corner, and as they pop around that corner, they'll get hit with that grenade. It'll take their shield down, 2 shots, or maybe 1 shot, depending on how much damage they took, and they're dead. It's a kill for you. So, along with that, if you pre-nade, let's say if you're in a mid position, you can, and let's say there's 2 points, or let's say there's 3 points. Pre-nade, and then you can stare down there. If either one of those exits gets a hit marker on it, which is pretty easy to tell if you get a hit marker, it's in the middle of your screen, you know people are coming there. And that's also how you spawn capture. But that you can predict from that. So you're like, if you don't get hit markers from that, you can see if they're going to be coming from below. This is mainly for one-on-one strategies, but also it's really good for when you're going up against multiple people. But the first part where you're just nading to predict where they're not to predict where they're coming from, but to mainly just get a little bit more damage into them, is super, super effective for teams. The second part, where it's like spawn capturing, things like that, that's going to be more for like 1v1s when you're competing against people. So then timing. Making sure that you know where the power-ups are and exactly when they're spawning is the most, important part, I feel like, in the game. Because you can sit there and, yeah, you can be, really, really good, But if someone is even really, really bad and they pick up the overshield, they could kill you like twice. Or kill 3 of your teammates. They're 3 points up above you. And when you're playing against pros, it's back-to-back. Or semi-pros, it's back-to-back. It's like 49 versus like 48. And like it's either a win or lose situation. So, or it's even a tie sometimes. So tie means, so let's say if you pick up an overshield, and also remembering where those spawns are and going to them immediately and picking them up so that you have control of that the entire game. Let's say if you spawn, the game starts at 10 minutes. You go jump down to wherever it is and you pick it up at like 9:52. 2 minutes later, 7:52, you're running over that, hold down X, and it'll be right into your inventory. Well, not inventory, but like it'll be on you. That overshield will be on you, or that cloaking will be with you. And then keeping that is super important because they don't know exactly when you picked that up. Even if they see you pick that up and they see the time, you already picked it up, you can kill them, and you already captured it. And it's just so important, like, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you. Super important to remember when weapons are spawning, and when power-ups are spawning, and where they are, and know the time. Like, always have in the back of your head, say it like 18 times. Okay, well, I picked it up at 10:52. All right, gotta go pick it up at 8:52 right now. Like, gotta go do it. And then just say it in your head like a bunch of times. And then you'll remember when you look at the little corner and it says 8:48, you're like, I mean, not 8:48, but 8:58. You're going, you're like, okay, I got a couple seconds to get over there and capture that before anyone else gets it. Because that'll either, I might not be able to get any kills with it. They might kill me before it, but at least they don't get any from it. So at least you're capturing that. Sorry, I get like really worked up about it. Knowing when to run, or when to like, wait, I have terrible handwriting, I just realized. Oh, not run, reload. That is how awful my handwriting is, guys. I thought run. Oh my gosh. So knowing when to reload or sprint. So especially in the new like Halo 5 game, sprinting, yes, it's nice, but it completely, you can't regen your shield while you're sprinting. So knowing when to run and reload is very important. You always want to be in like a drop down kind of secluded area, and you want to make sure that you check each point and look at your radar and make sure that you're in an area where your back is completely covered, so you have no possibility, and try to be in a cover area so there's only like one entrance, or you can duck down, reload really quick, and do that. And if you're sprinting, make sure you're not sprinting in the open. That's the best way to get yourself killed. When I see someone with their shield down and they're sprinting, I'm like, oh, nice, boom, dead. Thank you for the kill. Just made my KD go up a little bit. But it's really important when your shields are low to sprint into an area where there's multiple points of cover. So most maps have a pretty open center depending on, or an open area around the center. So either try to stay on the outskirts where you can, if you, let's say you're on top, because you want height advantage, so you want to mainly stay on top. So when you're on top, you can sprint, drop down, and like maybe go into a cave, go into a little cover area, like, and divert wherever that person is chasing you, and go into like a little nook and cranny and completely lose them, go everywhere, and then relax, sit there, don't sprint anymore until your shields are completely regained. It's really important. Don't just try to blitz everything and expect it's going to work out and you're going to be an amazing player. Prediction. If you're, especially one-on-one, if you're playing someone and they just are doing the same stupid stuff over and over again, like, okay, I know they're always going to follow the top course the entire time. They never go on like bottom mid, or they never go like bottom mohawk, or they never just go below a certain area. They always stay on the top level because they want that height advantage. Well, now you know that. Keep that knowledge. And it's pretty much with every game. Like if you're playing Zealot on, which is my favorite map, that's why I quote it so much. Zealot on Reach, people are always hugging that top outer rim. just going back and forth, just waiting for someone to walk into them. Boom, boom, boom. Now, let's say if you're doing in the remake of Halo 5, let's say if you're one of those little nooks up top, you see them walk just straight past because they're strolling and they don't care and they don't check to look at the little nooks. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, like, you can just drop down and kill them. Another way for you to also not be that person, so you don't want to be predictable. You want to be able to just be able to drop down, go down like into like the bottom levels, check, and then go back up by a gravity lift. And then let's say if you are on that remake of Z-Li, you, instead of running through mid, maybe you go up onto those little nooks, then go to mid, and then climb on top, and then while you're looking, you drop back down. Like, you want to make your moves as unpredictable as possible. That's the best way to win, because if they don't know where you are, you get the first shot. And if you get the first shot, more than likely you're gonna get the kill. So make sure that's super, super important. And then these are a little bit more complicated ones that I feel like some people just do not follow, especially when you're not playing with like your team. Be within eyesight of your teammates. Like, really. Oh my gosh, this ticks me off is when I'm trying to like play with randoms on multiplayer that say they're good. And I'm like, okay, so stay within my eyesight. So let's say if you're getting shot, you're not going to give him a kill, because I know you're probably going to die. We can switch, and then I can protect your ass. Simple as that. Stay within like eye distance of your teammates so you can assist them, because yeah, you might be like, oh yeah, well they died, at least I didn't die. That's 1 point you're giving to the other team. You're literally giving it to the other team. And it's also 1 kill you could be getting on the other team while that person's dying, because they're focused on that person. So switch in front of them. Switching super important. Switch in front of them when their shield's down and cut it off, kill them, because they probably already popped a couple shots on that other person. That means you only need 4 or 5 shots to kill them. If you're good. Hopefully you have decent accuracy. Work on accuracy. Go to octagon with people. Like, just practice. It's important. Super important to stay within eyes, because also, what if that happens to you? What if you get double teamed? You're like, well, But imagine if someone comes up behind you and starts helping you. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great, because you're not gonna be just like getting like booty touched the entire time. I'm trying to keep this somewhat child appropriate. I was about to say some inappropriate stuff. So, all right, 9. Spawn captures. All right, so spawn captures. I'm gonna do like a little diagram of this because it's hard to explain. So let's say if you are over here, let's just do a little dot. You're right there. Your teammate is right there. This person is looking, like there's this hallway, let's say. There's a hallway right there, but then there's like a big structure, and then there's a bunch of other obstacles. If this person is looking that way, and you are looking that way, they cannot spawn in this entire area. This entire gray area, they cannot spawn. And because you are too close to right here, more than likely, they're not going to spawn. So there's only going to be like a few places like over here, or a little nook and cranny on the complete opposite side of the map that they're going to spawn. So, especially when you're playing with multiple teams, this is why it's so important to keep an eyesight of your teammates. Because if they're over there, they're probably not looking at you. You can have somewhat eyesight. That means from them all the way over until your eyesight leaves, they can't spawn there. I mean, that's at least how it is with Halo 5. There are some weird little bits in Halo 4 and in other games, but it's pretty much like basically either you're in an area and they can't spawn, or you're looking into an area and they can't spawn. So it's important to remember that, because then you're not having someone pop up behind you and then assassinate you, because that's embarrassing. It really is. It hurts your soul. And that means they're only coming from a few different places. So you're like, okay, guess what? Then it goes into pre-nading. Okay, so I spawn capture this. There's only 3 places pre-nade, because I just killed them. They should be within there in 10 seconds. Wait 5 seconds, pre-nade. You don't get hit markers, then they're coming down right that corridor. Or unless they're just sitting, cowering, afraid. Either way, you are practicing very, I don't know, like, it's very important to practice that way, because most people are just gonna bum rush, like, oh darn it, I got killed, I'm gonna go get those guys, I know where they are. Well, guess what, you're prepared, and they're just bum rushing it, and they're gonna die really quick. So it's really important to do that. That's a really crappy drawing. I hope you guys saw that. But I hope that made some sense. Then let me go back over to my little list. Last thing, knowing when to fight or escape. Oh my gosh, people are so dumb. This one's the easiest of them all. Okay, we're not playing Call of Duty. Okay, we're not. You can't just bum rush and be like, okay, well I died, let's just go respawn again. No, this is a game that actually takes skill, unlike Call of Duty. It's crazy, right? Okay. Alright, so let's say you get the first shot on someone. You have decent accuracy. Bang, bang. You only need one more shot to the head after those 3 shots. That's when you fight. If they start shooting at you, don't run. Kill them. They're right there. They're 1 shot away, depending on what type of gun you have. And some guns take 5 shots to the head, some take 4. It just depends. Always try to take one that is only like 4 shots to the head. Like, that's why I carry around the pistol wherever I go. I will not pick up power weapons because pistol is more reliable for me. But running, if someone shoots you twice and you haven't gotten a single shot, you get your ass out of there. You leave. And that's all of this gets together. That's why you should have cover. This is why you should have a height advantage. This is why you should be able to be around corners, because then you can hug that corner, sprint really quick, drop down, get under a cover, and go through a corridor, and they don't know where you are. You're gone. And then you have time to crouch, reload, kind of like relax for a second, recompose, and have your shields back up again. And then you can go get them, because they're probably going to be in the same area. And then you can, if you knew the direction they were going through, you can go behind them and flank them. It's that easy, guys. It's not easy, but just do it. And I'll try to get some decent stuff so you guys can see it. I want to stream a bit. I want to get some content for you guys so you can watch it. But besides that, thank you guys for watching. Sorry I get so fired up about it. I just feel like it's so basic. Well, it's not basic, but it is basic. It's just common sense. And I just hate when I see people that just bum rush like they're playing Call of Duty. I'm like, no, it's not how it works. Okay, so don't be that person. Be smarter. Work smarter, not harder. Okay? Don't give them a kill. You're like, oh, I just died, it's fine. I still have like 15 kills and I have like 14 deaths. I'm still positive. No, okay? You just gave him a kill. What if you're not the crappiest person on your team? What if there's someone that's like getting like 5 and 14 and you're like, oh, yeah, guess what? Because of your ignorance, you might lose. You probably will lose that game. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.